Welcome to Career Bits, the podcast of the University Career Center at UNC Charlotte. I'm Jay, and today we're talking about how student leaders are giving back at UNC Charlotte, and I'm very happy to have two excellent student leaders here to talk about that. First, please welcome Ayana Silver, a junior economics major in the Business Honors Program, National Association of Black Accountants, Women in Business Ambassador, who also works in auxiliary services on campus and serves as a peer guide in the Belk College of Business. Ayana, thank you for coming on Career Bits.
Thank you for having me.
And also here, Danielle Riandu, a junior in accounting and finance major, who's in the business learning community, a leadership fellow in the Kappa Delta sorority, and also serves as a peer guide in the Belk College of Business. Danielle, thanks for coming on Career Bits.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm just going to open this up to both of you and let y'all jump in and tell us what this is. What does a peer guide in the Belk College of Business do, and how did you find out about it and become one?
I can start us off. So just in general, what a peer guide is, we are a team of students that work alongside the professional development team, and we help assist professional development events, and we also serve as peer mentors.
Yeah, I think Danielle summed it up really well. More about how I found out about being a peer guide was through the NIBLOC Student Center. They send out weekly emails. So I searched the opportunity, and then I reached out to the director, Serena Taylor. And then I did an interview, and I'm lucky to currently have this position.
Now, both of you have a lot of things going on for two juniors here, involved in a number of different organizations, holding leadership positions and taking on this. How do you balance all of that with schoolwork? Because some of the stuff I listed off that y'all are in, you don't just get to be in that stuff, you get invited to be in it. So obviously you're successful in the classroom, but how do you balance that with all the stuff you're doing outside of the classroom as well?
I can start that question off. For me, it's mainly planning and schedules. I have like 3 schedules in my room. I list the jobs I'm part of, and then the activities I have after school, and then of course my classwork. And that's just been very helpful for me, so I won't overbook myself. And then to also have a time for me at the end of the day, so I won't be stressed out from having so many activities and schoolwork and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely having a good time management skills is what helps me be so successful with juggling all these different activities. Like Ayana said, like I have calendar, and I use Google Calendar on my phone all the time to have helpful for all my timelines and appointments coming up. So that's just how I stay organized as well.
And that's great. And so now when you're working as a peer guide in the Belk College of Business, what are some of the most fulfilling parts of doing that? And what do you enjoy most about doing that? Having been at school for a few years and now being able to lead younger students through the hurdles that they're going through.
So my favorite thing is that we've gotten to work as a peer guide. I've gotten to work admitted student day events. So I get to talk about what all the opportunities the NIBLOC Student Center has to offer, and also like all the programs we have. And since I was involved in the business learning community, which is a freshman program where they can work on networking, visit businesses within the Charlotte area, and we have classes together, you live together. So it's a great immersion program. Like if you're like new to a big city area, so it's super helpful. Like I'm still roommates with them now, and just getting to talk to prospective business Niners, it's like super exciting and rewarding to see how excited they are and share my experiences to get them as excited as well.
For me, as being a peer guide, I got to work or be part of the mentorship program, which started in the fall for me, which was my first year. And it was just cool to see how I was able to help my fellow peers from underrepresented backgrounds to start their LinkedIn or start their resume when they had like nothing in the beginning, and to create those experiences that they had and just to put it out there to give to employers.
And so what's that like, Ayana, to be able to do that? And I'm talking specifically about starting with what you do have, because that's one of my favorite things to talk with students about is you really have a lot more experience than maybe you give yourself credit for. It's just figuring out how to package it.
Yeah, I think that was a struggle for me when I first started as well. I had a little bit of work experience, but I thought you need all these internships and big job opportunities in order to have that on your LinkedIn resume, but it's mainly volunteer experience or experience you had with working in groups that you're able to showcase those skills that employers are really looking for. And it can come from any experience other than just internships or big job opportunities.
It's not always something formal necessarily, right? Yeah. Danielle, specifically, I want to ask you about your experience as someone who was in the business learning community as a freshman. Do you still carry things from that experience now into your junior year and heading into your senior year?
I definitely carry experiences that I've learned from that program because without that program, I would not be where I am, like professional development wise, because the advisor of that program is actually a member of the professional development team. So she's a great resource. So I actually found out about the peer guide position from her. So that's how I applied and became a peer guide. But just some experiences that I learned was like, we had to do opportunities that you weren't necessarily think to do as a freshman. Like I went to the career fair as a freshman, and not all employers are necessarily looking for freshmen, but they were super excited to see us out there and motivated, and they just provided great advice. So it just gave me the overall mindset that you're never too young to start developing these new skills and experiences. So that's just been super vital for me throughout my collegiate career.
Ayana, as someone who's involved in two of our affinity groups, the Association of Black Accountants and Women in Business, how do you look to parlay those experiences as you're looking for potential internship sites and then work sites as you're getting ready to enter the workforce?
Yeah, so my first introduction to professional development was the business honors program, which allowed me to really know what is professional development and what skills you need. And then Women in Business helped me really find that networking opportunity to find out how to network, and also like how to not be as nervous, because it can be a little nerve-wracking when you're networking. And then the National Association of Black Accountants really just lists those opportunities that are out there. They also help you develop your networking skills and building up your resume and learning what and what not to do when interacting with employers. But they give you a lot of opportunities throughout the semester to really apply for.
So when you're getting ready to interact with employers, again, as people who've been student leaders, you're obviously have a lot of things that have armed you and prepared you for that or whatever. But what do you take from your own personal experiences and your own networking experiences and then parlay that back to people that you're working with as peer guides? How do you do that?
For me, it's always nerve-wracking to interact with people for the first time. So I have to remember at the end of the day that they're just people as well. It might be awkward for them when first coming in. So just to know that they're here for you and here to help you find those opportunities, or to help you give you advice on your way and on your journey to those opportunities.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Ayana with that they're just, you got to remember that they're human too, and they're just there to aid you in your interview process, and just to help you be more prepared was just to like maybe do some research on the company and just have some background knowledge, and that is just like super helpful when you're within the interview, just so you can have a little more at ease to help you with answering like specific questions, and that's been super helpful for me.
So Ayana and Danielle, final words of advice, things that you want to pass along to other students, and specifically why it's been so important for you to be in these leadership roles where you can give back to the university, and why others should consider seeking those as well in and outside of the College of Business.
It's important to give back because I just think back to when I was first starting out as a student. I was like, how am I going to get internship opportunities? How can I be a leader of a student organization? And it's important to show people who are in your position, who were in your position in the past that you were in and that you have been now, to show them that they can get where you are. And then what was the other part of the question?
You answered it. You got it all in one.
All right, thank you.
And then for me, just my biggest advice is to don't hesitate to get involved. because you're beginning in your like freshman and sophomore, like you can join all these organizations and different clubs, and then you can learn from the people advising them to then move up into leadership positions. And then having these leadership position experiences have been super helpful when it comes to, let's say, the interview process, because then you can talk about your time management skills or your problem solving skills with conflicts and other sorts of situations. And that just goes to show how employers and how involved you are. So that's what I found to be super helpful with, is just generally get involved and then look into joining those leadership positions.
Well, Anna, Danielle, thank y'all so much for being a part of Career Bits. And also thank you for the great work that you're doing to give back to students, and best wishes to both of you going forward in your careers at UNC Charlotte and as soon UNC Charlotte alums out in the workforce.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you for joining us in this latest episode of Career Bits. You can follow the happenings of the Career Center at career.uncc.edu. Follow the social media of the Career Center at Niner Careers. We'll talk to you again soon.